Everybody. So if you're seeing this, again, you're one of the lucky ones. Well, depending on how you look at it, you're here now. This is MJ, aka Victor, Angel Artist Matrix Engineer, right? Source only makes angels. Anyway, this is something that I made the other day, just kind of symbolizing the Fibonacci sequence in growth. And I counted them this morning, and there's 14 of them. So I'm going to do this for 14 days. I'm going to call it the 14-day challenge. The only challenge is a challenge to yourself to grow in one way or the other, even if it's small. We're going to take progress over perfection here. So there's 14 nodes on this, and I challenge you to learn something new each day, to grow spiritually each day, to challenge yourself each day, to do something to better yourself each day. As you do that, you better the collective, because we're all connected. So as I rise to my level, I'm helping the collective, and so are you. So let's rise. In the 14-day challenge. So this is the actual Fibonacci sequence, right? 0, we all start at 0, 1, we add the number before it. So 1 and 1 is 1. Add the number before that. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. All the way down, right? So that's how nature creates. And again, an example of that here. That's that right there, right? So I attempted to make that with some old piping I had. And we're going to talk about time, because the whole idea of this challenge, and I don't know if you can see that, is as time spins, you increase in awareness, in strength, in intellect, in intelligence. That's your journey. That's why you're here. For those that are just not increasing, you're kind of living a Groundhog Day. And that can be a bad thing if your Groundhog Day is a bad day. And don't base your journey on anyone else. Your journey is yours. And don't base your improvement on anybody else. Okay? Peace. Day 3 of the 14-day challenge. So I was asked in one of the comments, like, where is this going? And we're going to get here eventually, right? But the thing is, it's a jump from getting here to here. And to do it sustainably, we're going to use, the time that we have now. And if we progress each day, just imagine each one of these is a different you, a different parallel you, right? And you want to get to the top. But each day, you progressively get better. Progressively get better. You build on the next. You build on the next, right? And time is going to turn. The clock is going to turn. But if you continually get better, and it's going to be challenging. You're going to see the challenges are going to still be there, but you can still overcome them because you have experience overcoming them, right? You still do it. You still do it. And you're going to get to the point where you can see you're going to reach the mountaintop, right? There. Day challenge. So what we're trying to do is reconstitute the truth. And the truth is we're all one. We're one being experiencing itself as many different facets. So we got to bring things together. What they do to try to keep us separated in a lower level is to, for one, take our left and right hemisphere of our brains away. So the artistic side is pretty much gone, right? And what they do is they divide us. So this is the wholeness. This is the reality. So they divide us into black and white, okay? And then black and white, then you got Republican and Democrat, right? Then a Republican and Democrat, then you got straight and gay, okay? And then you see the different facets are divided and divided and divided. So we don't really see the unity that we have, right? So that's the illusion. That's the illusion of separation. The reality is that we're all one. And who does this benefit? These guys right here. Those are the ones that are propagating this. The idea is to learn something, to grow at least one step each day. And at the end of the day, at the end of the time, you'll be better than you were when you started. And that's what the growth is. And that's how you continue to elevate yourself, and you can ascend, if you will. And again, we're playing on the Fibonacci sequence. And one of the things about this I'll mention real quick is that it's about balance. You look at a ram's horn, the way it grows, it's balanced as it grows so its head doesn't tilt to one side or another. But these guys, the head, the vamps, they use separation to keep these different groups fighting each other, right? So that's how they control. And they only need a few people to do that because these people are controlling the majority. They're the handlers. Then you got this group over here, the spiritual awakening group, that is still kind of separated. What I like to see, and they have think tanks, is if we get together and create our own think tank and show them the organization of us. 6 of the 14-day challenge. Just want to share this with you. And I'm not one to be a fearmonger. I'm just kind of showing you what's in this reality as a fellow human. So you got artificial intelligence now that's a citizen, that's going to be able eventually to run on quantum computing. We don't know if that's already happened or not. We've already seen where AI is able to defeat our best pilots in simulation. So eventually they'll be flying real planes. And you got Elon Musk creating things that are going to connect us to this web, right? Neuralink. They already got mice connected to USB drives and USB-C ports, and the same thing will happen, where they'll be able to transmit information and also transmit motor function. Kind of reminds you of the movie Upgrade. If you haven't seen it, that's an interesting movie. We already have a transhumanist agenda, and we already have satellites being put up to be able to beam this wireless information to anyone. And it seems like we're on a path to become the Borg, where we're the batteries for robots. Funny thing is, I'm playing with dirty pennies again, as one person commented. And part of my job, or my mission, was to incarnate as a dirty penny, if you will. But no matter what the color of the penny is, the value is still the same. So I'm on the outside of reality. You can just look at me as an alien, right? And it's not that far-fetched when you look at the ancestry that the bloodline that I incarnated in. We do have ties to off-planet things, and we'll get into that later. But the whole idea is to show the potential of something different, because this matrix is just this artificial reality here that is feeding into these guys. We can do a couple things. We can turn it to where we're no longer feeding them, or we can flip it on them this way. But the whole idea is to show an alternative, and that's part of what I'm going to be laying out in the next few videos, so just keep an eye on that. But it's going to be alien because it's going to be out the box and out the norm, but that's what it's going to take. I just wanted to show you that, yeah, it starts off slow. Progress starts slow, but you see it starts increasing, right? So I just thought it'd be cool to talk about what it takes for you to get here and for you to see this, right? So let's say there was a Big Bang, okay, and everything came out of nothing, okay? Magic, right? There had to be some intelligence to take that everything that came out of nothing and coalesce it and fine-tune ways that allows life to exist and, you know, everything that happened on this planet. Now, the things that make up you, the elements that make up you, were generated in the sun. The sun explodes, dies, if you will, and those same forces coalesce it and make another sun, make another planet, and then those forces coalesce to make you, right? So all that leads to you here now. So you can't say that you weren't purposely created. And the things that make up you were there in the Big Bang. So you're part of eternity. Now, the funny thing is, the only time you can watch this is now. Try to watch it any other time. So we talked about how everything came to here now and how you were created from the Big Bang by elements that were part of the Big Bang. So we'll talk about time a little bit, because we all time travel to a degree. To see this in real time, you have to do a little time traveling because of the latency. So let's talk about latency, or lag, for instance. So when you look at a universe or a galaxy, for instance, that's 1 billion light years away. You're seeing the light travel 1 billion light years, 1 billion years for the light to reach your eye. So you're looking in the past 1 billion years, right? So 1 billion years ago, you didn't exist, but you're looking at yourself 1 billion years ago. So it just kind of plays with time. Just like in the now, everything exists, including 1 billion years ago. So you are a timeless being. Your consciousness is beyond time and you experience time, but your consciousness doesn't age. Hey everybody, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm mad, I'm upset, not at nature or reality, but at this matrix, this way that we govern ourselves and the resources of the planet and allow a small, psychopathic, unempathetic few rule us all, including what we think about ourselves and each other. And I am I guess I might as well say it, I already said it before, a time-traveling alien. So they talk about close encounters of the fifth kind, Dr. Greer's latest documentary. So imagine the sixth kind, where you incarnate into this planet to show you a different perspective. Because this reality is really a world full of Superman, and yeah, I'm talking to Superman and women that have been lulled with beliefs in that they can their Clark Kent. So it takes someone from outside to help show you that, and that's part of what I'm doing. Day 11 happened to be the 27th, so I'll make this quick. So my experience of awakening, of ascension, and all of this stuff. So there's no script, all right? So there's no book, there's no instructions to follow, and if you claim the Bible as the instructions, then you're going to be sadly mistaken. And Bibles are instructions to be saved. Teaches you how to be a sheep and not how to be a lion. But we'll get into that later. I'm eventually going to shoot my shot. So what I wanted to show is as you raise in consciousness, let's just say, and this is not a good example, but 4D and 5D, right? So all of us are still on the earth, but our consciousness can raise, okay? I don't care what dimension I'm in now. This isn't a dimension measuring contest. But as you raise, you get to see things that other people don't see. Not that you're special, it's just that they haven't raised their consciousness. One of the things I see and experience on a daily is these entities and these beings that are feeding off us. So when I talk about things that I can't explain, it's from my experience. So when I talk about action, I've created a spirituality and action, Saya, and that's what we're doing now. It is day 12 of the 14-day challenge. So part of this is also showing focus, being able to continuously improve day by day. So the person that you are now at day, 12, should be better than the person that you were at day 1, right? So you're increasing, and you see it gets exponential because you're building on your past selves, right? So the work you're doing today is going to help your future self tomorrow. But what I want to talk about today was intelligence and being smart. I figure myself a smart person, not because of what I know, because I know what I don't know. Out of all the intelligence and information in the universe, the little bit that I know is nothing compared to that. So I really know nothing in the grand scheme of things. So what I'm sharing is a little bit. Now, I know quote unquote smart people that I work with, and they're sharp. And one of the comments that I heard was one guy saying, well, that's like working on world peace. But my thing is, isn't that worth an intelligent person's efforts? This is day 13 of the 14-day challenge. So as you can see, each day we progressed on the next. And sometimes the work you do cannot be seen, right? Each of these days, you're doing better than the previous. And you're working your way up because eventually we're going to get to the top, right? But you got to understand, some of the work you're going to do is not going to be seen, right? So that's where we are now. Now, the whole idea of making all this noise is for a couple reasons. And I'm showing you Voltron because we're going to form Voltron. For those that don't know who Voltron is, you can Google it, but it's a story about 5 separate lions that used to fight these monsters, and they really couldn't defeat them until they came together and formed Voltron. And Voltron is made of different colors, and the one in the middle happens to be black. But anyway, the 14-day challenge is about building on yourself. Each one of these is a past you, and you're building on the future. So as time spins, you're increasing yourself and raising your awareness. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to day 14. So the whole intent with this exercise was to show that no matter where you plan on going, if you continue on the progress, it may start out slow, but if you continue the steps, you will get there. You know, you have to get there. That's just the way the universe works. But I'm not saying this journey is going to be easy. There will be hurdles. There will be things that you have to get over. But if you continue, you will get there. And the goal is self-realization, is to get to the point where you are the person that you've been waiting for. And the thing is, as you see this progression, it starts slow and it ramps up. This is supposed to symbolize the Fibonacci sequence. And as you get to the top, that's you. There's no one else. You don't have to worship anyone else or anything like that. This is the work that you did to get here. And when you realize something, when you look at the other side of it, that's the work of all those days that led you to that. So you're standing on your own shoulders.